practice my Black Panther accent.
It's a good time. Thank you guys again. Welcome to Fall Through the Stew. DJ PharOut.
Be okay, Pepper Potts? I didn't know it was too late.
I am Black Panther.
Oh, God. As everyone can see, he's in costume again. I think it was like this time last year. I think it was you did the Iron Man costume.
Why gotta be a costume?
Those aren't real. Look, those aren't real.
Well, that could have been the real Black Panther.
I mean, let's be honest. We can go to my page and see. Give me 2 months.
Oh my God! What you showing that little chocolate chip little thing you call a nipple again? Is that what you gonna do?
No, that's how I currently look. Y'all know if I put a little weight on, it's gonna be a wrap out here. Orange City. Go to my page. Look on my page. Them feature pictures. Maseratii Miyagi. Just go ahead. Front page. Just check it out. Y'all will see. Arms on deck. Shoulders on deck. Traps. Trap God. They used to call me a trap God when I was a young boy. Nothing but traps. See all of this. Just damn. From neck to here. Neck to here. Neck to here. Neck to here. That was damn near like Tyson. Now, damn it. 17 and a half in the neck and got the short shirt.
This sounds like complete, absolute fake news.
You think so?
Absolute fake news.
I bring work shirt. I am a 17 in the neck. I'm barely a 17 in the neck. And niggas out there that wear work shirts, no. That's a big neck, nigga. That ain't no little neck, nigga. Anyway, what else you got going on?
You saying all that, I thought you were losing weight.
Huh?
Why are you talking about gaining weight? I thought you were losing weight because you passed that daggone cheesecake off on us.
No. I passed the cheesecake off to you. Let's get it right. I passed it off to you.
She did.
And then you passed it off to PharOut.
She felt guilty and showed up and tried to put it on the fat dude. But it's cool.
I wasn't about
fine.
to do that. That was like
cool.
a billion calories. I was not about to do this myself.
It's fine.
I did.
And then he dropped it on the floor.
Did you eat it off the floor?
Listen, I did what I had to do.
I appreciate that.
I had to do what I had to do. I didn't want nobody to waste money, but I mopped my floors though. Like I cleaned my kitchen, so it was clean.
Yeah.
I clean my kitchen like 2 or 3 times a week. So
I don't do it that much, but I clean my floors and my people's like bleach.
Gotta have a clean kitchen.
Then my fucking house smell like bleach for the next 2 days.
You can't just wash the dishes. You gotta clean the kitchen. You never just wash the dishes. Clean the kitchen.
This is true, but you still drop the cake in it.
Exactly, and that's why I picked it up because I cleaned my kitchen. Kitchen stay clean.
It was good cheesecake though. That was good cake.
I wouldn't know. I didn't have any. I passed it right on off.
Yeah,
I was at the
as
gym.
you went to the gym.
But I only ate it because I was getting ready for surgery and I couldn't eat like the whole next day. So it was a nice filler for me to.
You know what? What happened is this. I actually told people on live, I was like, listen, if you can go to our last podcast and tell me what it is that I'm allergic to, then I will go ahead and give you a cheesecake. Or if enough people get the answer right. And you know, the thing is, why is it that black people make everything so difficult? My shirt clearly said allergic to average. People had all kinds of. They was naming garlic, peanut butter. Are you? Did you watch it? Did you even look? You can just go there and look and see. It says allergic to average on my goddamn shirt. You didn't even have to watch the damn podcast. Oh, they just had all type of guesses trying to get goddamn cheesecake.
You want the truth?
Terrible. But you probably didn't see the live either.
No, I didn't.
See?
But I also edited the footage and I didn't know this.
But if I would have said, what am I allergic to? If you had went there and been like, oh, this shirt clearly says.
Yeah, if you had to say, go look at the last podcast, that was just like.
That's what I told them to do. They didn't get it right.
Still didn't get it right, damn.
People still guessing. Is it,
Because people never read the whole thing. It's like when you put all the information on the flyer, date, time, and everything, somebody be like, well, what time is it? That's what it is. People don't read the whole fucking thing.
You gotta start doing better, black people. Especially when y'all be out here front talking about, I read. No, you don't. You don't read shit. Trying to lie. Oh, I look at people funny when they say they don't read books. What book have you read? I'm sorry, what books have you read?
Actually,
and don't say no Zane shit. Don't say no jailhouse shit. Tell me some real shit. Like, did you read up on some stocks? Did you read up on how to better yourself? How to make more money? Business? How not to go to jail for PUA?
Books is helping them better themselves.
It is not. That's why they are fucked up now, because they live the life of Zane books. Going out here, the dude selling dope, the females dating the dude that's selling dope, and they talk about what I want to do.
Books, Zane is maybe they read the Zane book so they can create a fantasy for their partner.
they need something, because this is getting ridiculous. People be talking about what they want. I be like, so what do you want? Oh, you know, I want a woman to go come, or get home, she go cook, she go this, she go that. I'm like, all right, cool. And then you meet who she be like, bitch can't cook. Like, she be just not like, what did you have in common with her? I get tired. You know what? This ain't even on the subject thing, but you know what I'm tired of? I'm tired of every time we don't agree with some celebrities doing something, and there's an age difference, but they're still legal. We be like, well, what could they have in common? And you think to yourself, like, what did you have in common with your last 4 or 5 boyfriends or girlfriends that you dated? Because clearly you talk about them like dogs. What the fuck did you go with them for? Like,
He didn't have a job. She didn't have a car. I did all this. I did the cooking, the cleaning. That was my car. I paid for the house note. I be like,
what did y'all have in common? Because clearly y'all don't agree with Marcus Houston and his 19-year-old wife. I'm like, the motherfuckers got money. That's what they got in common. They
did
the
she
same
have
shit.
money already? I didn't even know who she was.
I mean, I'm assuming because if she was friends with Chris, I assume that all rich people always hang out with other rich people. Yeah. I don't think they hang out with like poor
No,
people.
they
But
Friends
yeah,
with poor
we
people.
can't afford to hang out with them.
Yeah, so if Chris Stokes' daughter is who she was friends with, I'm assuming she had some
Oh,
type
okay.
of
I
money.
didn't even know that much. I only saw her age. So
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
Chris
even know.
Chris Stokes' daughter's friend that they met at like a what is that religion? They don't have
Scientology or something?
no. It's a real one. Like
Oh,
what's the door knocking?
Jehovah Witness.
They Jehovah's Witness.
I
Add
can't
like
believe we noticed that by Dornak, but that's good. Hey,
No, I mean,
that's what they do. They haven't done that though in
that's
a
the
long
easy
time.
way. Like, who else is coming around?
Have they done that recently?
Because they've been holding like conventions. Like, I don't know if you know, before the COVID, like at the convention center, it'd be just packed on like a random weekend or a Sunday with all these black people going in and out. So I didn't know what was going on. So I had to ask, I was like, excuse me, why is there hundreds of black people going in here at this convention center? Like, is Kirk Franklin in town? Or like, am I missing out on something? It's like, no, this is a Jehovah Witness convention where we all get together. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that.
What do you do at a convention of Jehovah's Witnesses?
Maybe
Do you
just
practice
like
knocking?
learn about the religion
I'm
more.
not.
Do you practice like?
Not.
I would think that they would have like different things like knocking techniques because you don't just come for
Oh.
You already know Jehovah's Witness, but then you be like, oh, that's my homeboy. You go to the door, you be like, oh.
I'm not.
But I'm just
Jehovah's
saying,
Witnesses ain't even watching this. They ain't
But-
out.
I don't know. They got money in that organization. They pay people now to stand like on the corner with their actual like flyers and stuff instead of knocking.
That's not a Muslim.
Oh,
That's a
right,
Muslim.
right. I'm gonna say they've been doing that for a long time, selling bean pies.
No, not being I'm talking about like you ever see them now? Like they posted up like on like the corner of where
No.
their where their
I didn't even
place
know
of
about a
worship is.
convention.
Like in their parking lot on the corner, they have people sit there
No.
with their pamphlets down when people walk by.
No.
Yeah.
Are they go?
And they
Are they?
and they
Is the
be-
Muslims
they're
okay with
outside.
this? Are the Muslims okay with this?
I mean, I don't think they're selling anything, but they have their information about their religion on those pamphlets.
But they go
Instead of
they go
walking.
bump heads though. Eventually, like the Muslims gonna be like, hey, I'm trying to teach people about being a Muslim, and you out here teaching people about knocking on doors.
I'm not messing with Muslims. I'm just.
Well, speaking of bumping heads, because we'll be all wrong place. Definitely not about to take this in order, but we had the Monica and Brandy versus battle this past week, and they managed to set a record of 1.2 million views. I
For
think
what?
it got up to.
That was boring.
That is amazing. Actually, no, it wasn't, because all the shade being thrown back and forth is what made it interesting. That's what kept me watching.
We just wanted to see a fight. We thought they would eventually fight.
Thought Monica was gonna punch Brandy.
I thought somebody really
It
hit
was a
him.
couple little neck rolls and things like that. That at some point I wondered if she was gonna get up and walk away. Like,
You know what I'm saying? I thought it'd been dope if like Brandy and she would have brought Ray J with her, and then Monica would have brought Rocco, and then it'd have been like a tag team.
Why didn't they just bring back Celebrity Deathmatch? Okay, like I think that would have been dope. Look, listen, they would have brought up like a fight, like a classic fight over like maybe Kobe Bryant or something like that for the Kobe Bryant title. And then Kobe Bryant's real wife just comes in like and beats up both of them with a chair
why
and take the
would
title
anyone
herself.
be entertained by that?
That would just be.
Ass.
I'm just saying. That
I'm
was
like,
great.
Kobe, I'm missing what happened with Kobe
Ass.
Bryant?
I'm
Like,
just saying.
nobody is gonna want to.
Kobe, we don't want to see that.
Yeah,
I
nobody wants
would.
to see
Kobe
that.
Bryant?
Like a Kobe Bryant
No.
title.
Why wouldn't it be like
Kobe Bryant
LeBron
title.
and
Right.
Jordan fighting or somebody?
Right.
There's some people that's still
Let's see.
alive.
I would want to see Brandy versus Monica for the Kobe Bryant title. Like that's a meaningful.
What is a Kobe Bryant title?
Because it just has meaning for it. Like
What?
yeah, just put it on the title.
Why? Why?
I
That's
did not
Kobe.
know where you going.
It's Kobe. It doesn't have to go anywhere. It's just the fact that it's Kobe.
You just threw Kobe in the title
Exactly.
for some people fight.
That's how I have a good
And
name.
celebrity
behind the
death
title.
match.
Exactly.
Jesus
And
Christ, man.
You carry
Come on,
around
man.
the Kobe title, all right? You gotta have that Mamba mentality
Hey.
to
You
carry the
lost
Kobe
me
All
to
title
the
right.
light
around.
fight.
All right, listen.
Yeah, I got lost.
Let me show off my outfit because after this,
There was
we are
any
definitely
title.
going to get protested and shut
Listen.
down. PharOut got to shut down because he wants to have the Kobe Bryant celebrity
I
death
do.
match.
I do.
Well, what does come out of this and what we
Might as well.
see time after time is Monica and Brandy streams took a nice little boost, which is good because we're talking about at their prime, they were like the 90s. So to be going back to their music in 2020, I think it speaks for their music. I'm not even the biggest fan of either of them, but I did sit and watch and enjoy it, and I could see what other people were getting from it. What I did notice is starting to turn into, which you will only see like the comments of like the celebs and shit now, the normal people shit ain't gonna get through. But I think what's gonna come out of that is gonna build up and we're gonna start seeing endorsements and shit starting to happen. I don't know, maybe they already do it now. Like I don't know.
Brandy already had Brandy had an album that came out like 2
Yeah,
weeks
but
ago.
and she was able to no, it was like right before I think they did their Verzuz. But she was able to take that and promote it while they were being watched by 1.2 million people.
See, that's pointless views. That shit was boring. It was boring. It was
I
pointless.
enjoyed it.
It was pointless.
I don't watch none
1.2
of them.
million other people
I would rather see
on
them
Instagram alone enjoyed it. I don't know what the
see
Apple
them
numbers and shit was.
beat each other up on live TV. Like it was just point. It's just point to me. I don't know. That Verzuz just wasn't. I don't know. Out of all the different verses, I don't know. That
Do
was
you
just too
listen to
much.
Brandy and Monica though? Brandy and Monica?
No, I don't listen
Well,
to
then
their
that's
music.
why.
Maybe that's
I
probably
mean,
why.
I do, but I
I don't know.
I'm not their biggest fan, but it was enjoyable to watch. Like, I mean, plus they were playing the songs that I really liked from them anyway. So you kind of, because at first I wasn't gonna watch it. I'm like, watching what? I'll be sweet. But nah, I actually enjoyed that. And shout out to black women keep boosting these numbers up on these versus battles because the last one was what Erykah Badu and Jill Scott had a set record. When we constantly look at, well, we don't, but black women get looked at as not being able to pull numbers in like that, and now look at what is being shown from some music from back in the 90s. I think that's great.
Now you gotta switch it up to shut me up. Now I can't disagree with it no more because then I'm
That's
I was
right.
kind of also trying to save you
not
after
liking
the Kobe
black
thing.
women now. Like I see how you set me up. That's
Oh,
okay.
was it?
Shut
It
me up.
it's
That's what it
constantly
is.
actually
Yes.
got
Now
brought up.
I gotta fucking like
Because-
it because if I don't,
No,
I'm gonna have an
you
issue
still
against
gotta
black
like it,
women,
but that,
and then people are gonna
that
be like,
matters,
"Oh,
though.
PharOut got an issue with black women now." Like,
I would really like to see like Lauryn Hill go against somebody.
Why she ain't gonna show up?
Man, why would you beat me to my joke? God damn it!
You did it to me.
God damn it! Oh, I was waiting for it.
Owed you that.
Oh, I was waiting on it. Fuck.
I know what else has been brought up, and people were like, "Well, let's just keep this with the black people with hip hop and R&B." I'm like, at some point, you're gonna run out of people to put verses up against. I think when you give those other genres in there, you're gonna also expand your audience. It's just more that can come out of that. I personally, I listen to too much. I don't really want to just hear hip hop and R&B if I do tune in, because I don't even watch each one of these battles.
I mean, it depends. I mean, who are we talking about? I mean, I don't want to see Guns N' Roses versus Metallica and shit.
I'd watch it.
You probably would. I'm pretty sure it would sell
Yeah, a
out.
lot of people will actually watch it.
Because Metallica, I think, is still putting out goddamn albums
I'd
of
watch
new
it.
material.
off the album.
I'd
Yeah.
definitely watch that.
Like Metallica's still putting out material and shit. So yeah, I'm pretty sure it would. It'll probably get a great boost because white people support shit. White people be knocking shit out of the park. If you white and you do something, trust me, nigga, white people will buy your shit. They was talking about they was upset at who was it? Post Malone because they was like he's probably one of the best selling
Always mad at him.
rap artists out right now, and he's a white guy, and I'm thinking to myself like, why are y'all mad at the fact that y'all don't support shit? Like y'all can boost up anybody y'all want to, but every time you bring somebody up, y'all hate the nigga. People was dogging T.I. because T.I. and 50 Cent was supposed to go back when people was like, man, T.I. ain't got that many hits, this nigga ain't this, 50 Cent, blah blah. I'm thinking to myself like, why is it that y'all all of a sudden like once niggas ain't like got number ones no more, y'all dog them? White people ain't like that. White people will play your mother. White people is keeping Ja Rule's checks fat still. Trust me. We dogging all these niggas. I guarantee you, white people are still purchasing Ja Rule tickets.
White
and they're still
people
going to the
still make
concert.
certain Mix-a-Lot relevant, like at a wedding or something.
Yeah.
Like Baby Got Back.
Yeah.
Like, they invite them to come out and perform and shit like that.
Yeah, we
Still
ain't.
today.
I would have had Baby Got Back in my goddamn thing, and I'm pretty sure my wife will have some type of ass. You got a bunch of white people with flat asses, and they out there with Baby Got Back and twerking or trying to twerk or whatever the fuck it is that they do.
They hired like Montel Jordan to do like This Is How We Do It. Like that'd be like their favorite song.
You would think that they would have an old Carolina person come out and sing that type of shit, right? No, they ain't got that. They got Montel Jordan and Baby Got Back and shit. They got the Beastie Boys showing up, still keeping them in work.
Hey, they getting a check for it.
Yeah, they getting a check. Like people, we don't do that. As soon as motherfucker fall off, we be out of there. We be like, pew.
Shit, probably didn't even buy the original CD from the store anyway. You probably bought it from the dude off the street.
Man, y'all motherfuckers be crazy. I be sitting there thinking to myself like, man, y'all just don't care about nothing. They be like, somebody be like, man, I don't consider T.I.'s first album a classic. I said, nigga, that was his best album. Your first album is always your best album because you broke, you poor, you thirsty, you trying to make it, you spitting your hardest shit. Once you get some money, you doing a song with Justin Timberlake, you like, I'm gonna spit a little bit, but you know. These hits out, I got Justin on the track, 2 singles.
You can't expect people to keep making that hungry album all the time.
Yeah,
You gotta stay.
their lifestyle change.
Yeah, your whole lifestyle change.
I mean, yeah, shit. I would be surprised if 50 Cent came out with another Get Rich or Die Trying. I'd be like, what are you struggling about, sir? Who shot you 9 times?
And they get older.
Where's
like
your security at?
Yeah, what happened?
Why
How did you get shot 9 more times? Why are they still wishing death upon you, motherfucker? Like, what's going on with your lifestyle, 50? And you just probably Get Rich or Die Trying again, motherfucker. This shit's great. You just ain't hungry no more, but, you know, we should still support them. We should still go ahead and buy their shit, and we act like niggas just ain't got hits no more. People still be having hits. We just don't purchase the shit.
Unless you DJ Khaled and he got him begging Drake for hits. Took a little promo for that.
You know what? You know what I don't like about DJ Khaled? He don't ever promote his artist the way he promotes everybody else. Like, he'll promote the fuck out of Drake. Did y'all know that Flip De Niro dude album came out and it's pretty fucking good?
No.
That album's pretty fucking
DJ
good.
Khaled's artist?
That's his artist.
Oh, I didn't know.
That and the nigga
Outside of Ace Hood, really, I didn't know who else was DJ Khaled's
He
artist.
got maybe there's a reason.
Man, he got Movado.
I didn't know Movado was his artist.
Movado was his artist. He got the Flip De Niro.
I thought they were independent.
Yeah,
I thought they were just independent artists that was doing their thing, like getting their own numbers.
No, and I wasn't even a fan of that song until I seen the nigga perform live. I was like, this nigga's energetic. He was running back and forth across the stage at BET and shit. I was like, man, this nigga hype. I'm gonna listen to his shit.
I thought the only artist DJ Khaled had was Ace Hood. Like,
He don't promote his artists.
Is Ace Hood still making music?
Yeah.
But he make like K-Camp, like women, like romantic music now. Like, it's weird.
I like K-Camp. I think K-Camp is
I like
underrated.
K-Camp too.
K-Camp.
It's like a new jack swing type of style. It's like hip hop and art. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a new type of style.
Is everybody singing?
Because everybody's singing and rapping together. Like what, Ace Boogie with a hoodie? Like I like him.
Yeah, it's sometimes I like him. He's cool, I guess.
Yeah.
He's sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I may purchase this shit sometimes. But everybody be, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody got that nasally voice and shit when they be trying to sing. I'm like, you ain't gotta keep trying to sing, man. Go ahead and just rap.
Everybody sing.
Yeah, just everybody. I don't.
Even
you know
the baby
what I'm saying?
sing. I was listening to actually his music. Like not
Birdman?
just like the baby.
Oh, the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And like his like actual like album joints and not just the singles.
The
and
singles?
Stuff. Yeah, he's just singing.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be hard for a lot of people to understand what I'm saying, but if Birdman from like 99, 2000 came out with an album today, he'll be the #1 artist in the world. Cause baby, if you listen to some old baby shit, you be like, this nigga was saying some crazy ass
shit. He's just a little too old to translate to the younger generation and hit him up like that.
I mean, yeah, baby's like 60 years old now.
Yeah,
baby was like 40 years old back in 99, but he's old. Like he
could probably write that for someone younger and have them do it, but ain't nobody
man.
gravitate him.
If baby had came out,
Lil Wayne that money, I don't know. Did that ever happen?
I would assume because he was on Lil Wayne's podcast and they was just chuckling it up like the best of friends. I mean, I would hope so.
Probably just
I would hope so, but no.
Because I mean, I think you would have to because I think the courts got involved and some shit happened.
Yeah, we still shouldn't be out here kicking it like that if I had to make the courts pay you my money.
I mean, shit happens.
Hey, when you get paid the check and you deserve it, you can sit down and
feel that check
that check in his hand without having to go through the courts with that shit. We watched y'all kiss each other on the mouth before. Like. you have to take him to court to get your money after that. That's kind of fucked up.
I mean, shit. People got to take their regular jobs to court to get money. You be thinking like you're a
regular job, not the people.
But how do you know that his podcast wasn't a part of the deal though? Like sometimes in the industry, if somebody sets you up to make more money that's worth instead of actually paying you that money, and you got a new lane out, new revenue stream, that's a part of the deal closing it. Like some people handle it that way. You give me another revenue stream to do something on. That might have.
I mean, I don't know.
That depends on how people look at situations.
I'm just saying I don't know for sure, but
well, we just had Joe Budden in the whole Spotify situation. Did y'all listen to either of those podcasts he did about it?
No.
Okay. Do y'all know what's going on with Joe Budden?
I personally been canceled Joe Budden a long time ago.
So. I mean, somebody said something about Joe Budden didn't know how to negotiate or some shit.
Well, yeah, Charlamagne said it. And the thing is, Charlamagne said he doesn't know how to negotiate deals. And if Charlamagne was wrong, we wouldn't be having a discussion of Joe Budden signed a bad deal 2 years ago with Spotify. And now 2 years later when he wants to renegotiate that deal, the way that it should be, what he wants isn't without reason, because he does have the top podcast. Him having his podcast on that platform, promoted other podcasts that was on the platform, and he spoke about that also. I don't disagree with the fact that he's being played by Spotify. The problem is you signed a bad deal 2 years ago. First of all, why did you sign a deal for 2 years? I felt like that was kind of long when you were not already being paid what you felt you should have been. So signing a deal for 2 years didn't make sense to me. But it's like when he gets to talking like this, he kind of starts to burn bridges with other people. Because every time he has a problem, he puts all the information out there, and he says it in a way of him being so angry and emotional. It's like, who's going to continue to do business with you after this?
But you know what? I think that, and I'm not making excuses for Joe, but I think that podcasting is such a new thing, really, that when it's kind of like he comes from record deal shit. Like that's record deal shit. Like everybody has a shitty deal, that first record deal, and then when you prove yourself as the number one artist, you go in there like, we gotta negotiate if you still want these hits, baby.
Right, and that's all the more reason I didn't think he should have signed a 2-year deal. That was a lengthy deal for, like I said, you not already being new, podcast being new, and you not already being paid, and your expectations. Like, why didn't you have your expectations in that first deal to have it based upon whatever you were able to do within that time frame? Like, he's not setting himself up correctly to start with, from what I can see. That's just, I'm not saying I know everything, but from the information he's giving us, like, you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, you've been around for how fucking long now?
But we don't know. But we didn't know shit about podcasting was gonna take off. Like,
well, he already had the top podcast before he signed with Spotify.
But see, I agree with Miles. I don't think he understood the realm of the podcast, because again, it's such a new thing that now podcast is so ambiguous. You have all these categories. Because there's not just a podcast about hip-hop anymore. It's about politics. It's about mystery story. It's about all these things. We haven't yet came up with a way, like music, to make all these subgenres of podcasts to really monetize them in the way that they should be. Because his podcast, compared to maybe a podcast that might be started, maybe I don't know if she has one, but maybe Kylie Jenner may have one. I don't know if she does or not. But how does that rank among like other podcasts? We don't have those numbers yet compared to records. You know what I'm saying? That he knows about.
And you know what I'm saying? Him saying that he had the number one when he signed the deal. Like, what was his numbers like? What was the numbers like for him to have the number one podcast?
That information I don't know. But okay,
let's say
what made him think he needed to sign a deal in the first place is also what I question.
Well, it's the same reason I asked about Gucci Mane. Why does he keep signing to major labels? Like, Gucci, you can just put music out, bro. You don't need a major label to put your music. It's going worldwide, nigga. But we it's the hood that's fucking with you. It's not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing songs with fucking Bruno. Well, he is doing songs with Bruno Mars now, so I do take that back. I almost fucked it up. He is doing songs with Bruno Mars after he lost the weight and shit. Became a sex symbol. So, all right, but I think he would have been okay by not signing to those major labels, because he was with Atlantic, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, Atlantic's really not pushing you. Like, most labels, you hear about people like, well, they really didn't do nothing, and they took their cut of the money, and they really didn't do nothing. That's how a lot of labels are. Like, they don't know how to promote you. They see you making money, they sign you, and then they be like, all right, keep doing what you're doing, and we'll get some of that money.
Well, now you pretty much already made yourself famous.
I just don't think Joe Budden is a good business person when it comes to his craft overall at all. I just think that's what it is. I just don't think, like, just looking at just his overall, like if he was really good in business and or understood the business of his creative side, then we would probably all think of more highly of Joe Budden. I just don't think we do. I just think he's just not.
I don't think
a business savvy person.
We can't blame him. We can't blame Joe Budden because I don't think he's doing the negotiating. I think he has a lawyer or a person that goes in there and says, here's this and this and this. At this point, I hope so. I really hope so.
I think that applies to someone that is just coming into situations like this. Joe has been in situations like this too many times in a way that he can relate what he was doing with Spotify and what he does with the record label. I get what you're saying, like, well, we don't know what the lawyer doesn't, but what he should have done was, like I said, have your own expectations set and send that lawyer in to get that shit done. Or we also have to consider the fact that nobody forced Joe to sign that first deal. Nobody made you do it. If you didn't like the first deal, what the fuck you signing for? You had other offers from, what's the face? The other,
Title?
Yeah. I don't know what that offer was, but you had other offers. Like Spotify wasn't the end all be all.
I think the only reason why I feel like Joe Budden was relevant was because DJ Academics got behind all these young cats, and he was just the old guy in the room to have those negative comments. Like just go back. What really made Joe Budden his rise come up is his beef and his blunt statements against the younger rappers who are now like succeeding in the game. Him talking shit about them kind of like validated them and made their numbers go up. That contrast back and forth when he had that show with DJ Academics. Other than that, I don't ever see that Joe Budden was going to be relevant though.
I mean,
but a lot of times, you know what? Joe Budden Joe came off as like that hater, but you look back, you be thinking to yourself like, Joe Budden wasn't wrong though. When he was talking to Lil Yachty, he was like, I want you to understand the fucking business. You should know if you have a 360 deal or this deal or that. I'm starting to think to myself like,
but how do you give information to other people and not take it for yourself though?
We do it every day.
No.
We get how many
people
how many people want bad
deals
though? To go and put it out there the way he does.
But look at Lil Yachty's deals. I think overall, musically on the business wise, I think Lil Yachty had made way more money than Joe Budden ever did off of music. He may not be a better artist than Joe Budden, but look, he was the only black dude with bees in the Target commercial. Like, but then look at who Lil Yachty is signed to. If you want to talk about label wise, QC, like best new thing smoking out here now. So it's like,
but listen, how many times have we gotten out here and we've seen somebody give it? Like I've seen females literally in the worst possible situations. They boyfriend is cheating on them, they get beat, blah, and they whole focus ain't on their relationship and leaving that. They giving a friend relationship advice like, girl, he be online saying this, that, you shouldn't mess with him.
They ain't talking about losing or signing $24 million deals neither though. Like,
I mean, look, a person in a bad situation giving somebody else advice happens. It happens in every situation. Music, relationships.
Spend an hour and a half of your podcast talking about it and then get mad when Charlamagne tell you what you also said. You signed a bad deal. Clearly you don't know how to negotiate it. We wouldn't have these conversations about you having a bad deal.
I mean, shit. He sat up here and talked about Kodak Black and his lawyer and Master P. When Master P tried to help him and he was like, Master P was like, it's your lawyer. You need to ask paperwork from your lawyer because your lawyer's ripping you off. And Joe Budden came and he was like, oh yeah, I used that lawyer before. He was like, oh, he's a great lawyer, but he's gonna charge, like, he'll take a jet from his office to the gas station because he charged you so much. He's like, he has the most extravagant office and he'll charge you all of this money. He's like, but I fired his ass after such and such. After a while, you kind of like, well, Joe, you maybe should go back to that lawyer real quick and have him negotiate a deal and then fire him again or keep him on retainer or something to negotiate your deal.
I don't know. I just feel like if I had been around as long as Joe has been around now, I wouldn't keep finding myself in these situations. Like, ask your friend, what lawyer you got? Who is out here getting the right deals? Maybe you need to go get the lawyer they using. Don't go get the lawyer on your own.
We are creatures of habit.
I'm not a habit to keep signing bad deals.
We are creatures of habit.
Of that. And having the wrong lawyer, I wouldn't find myself in the habit of that because you're talking about a lot of money at stake. You're talking about the fact that his podcast is now coming down off of Spotify because they won't give him the ownership that they want, or he wants for them. So, yeah, at some point, you got to be held accountable to keep finding yourself in these situations. That's just how I look at it. But I am speaking for someone. Nobody's offering me $24 million, so I don't.
But does he have that? Did he have that pull to walk away from Spotify though?
Yeah, I think he does. I think that show is in a position now. He doesn't actually need Spotify. I never thought he needed it in the first place, but that's just how I feel when it comes to deals and who you already are. You already had a name out there. But I mean, you check his Twitter and like their YouTube channel. I don't think he needs Spotify anymore.
Didn't he have a show on Revolt? What happened to that?
I think maybe because of the shutdown. You saw when he was interviewing people just.
Yeah, I thought him and
I
Remy
think.
Ma and
Yeah, I think that. Yeah. I think maybe because of the shutdown, because they were going. Not Everyday Struggle. I can't think of something about the culture. State of the culture. Or
Okay.
something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I think that's what happened. So we are talking about someone that does consistently have good shows like that. Because all three of the shows that we named that he have are good. So no, I don't think a deal is required, and that's why I was saying, if you've been here this long, where is your networking at that you can't just do this on your own? Like when he was saying the social media and filming and all that, I mean, shit, we do that.
I mean, there's tons of people out here with podcasts and different genres that are just killing the numbers, and that's why I'm asking, like, well, did he really necessarily need Spotify? Like
and even now,
on?
this is just promo for him leaving Spotify. Because everybody's been talking about it because of how he's reacting to it. So he's promoting himself before he even fully leaves. I think they got like maybe 5 more or something like that to be on Spotify.
But how credible is he going to be now? Because like I said, you guys mentioned it before. If he was giving all these people all these other type of business advice about doing things, now he's going out here and in his own. Like, how much credit do we still give Joe Budden now?
People forget shit so easily.
Yeah, we forget.
Do something.
Yeah, we don't really care about shit.
I won't forget. I'll gladly bring it up. But
We know you will, but ain't nobody else remember this shit.
Well, speaking of remembering, and you are just in the costume, we unfortunately lost Black Panther since our last.
Can you say his real
episode.
name?
You know what? We always talk about him. Man, dude played everybody. He played James
Yeah,
Brown.
no, but his biggest, I think, for everyone from different age ranges, because where I was also going to go with that is, you know, the kids lost their little hero. I've seen the little kids with their little action figures setting it up with the whole scene of Black Panther going off. Like,
Can we say we lost Jackie Robinson? Can we say we lost Thurgood Marshall? Can we say
James Brown.
Yep.
Who else did he play?
I think because I feel like
everybody.
those roles someone else could play. Like, we've already stated certain people shouldn't touch Black Panther. Like, it's already been stated. Nobody's saying don't play.
But
James Brown.
we
But
give
my
Jamie
thing
Foxx
is-
credit for Ray.
I'm thinking like, man,
Yeah.
somebody gonna be like, I seen this podcast with a dude dressed up like Black Panther, and like maybe it'll go viral, and maybe they'll be like, hey, dude, if you want to come in for maybe a little casting or something, I bring my own costume. I mean, what else y'all want? You know what I
do your
mean?
own stunts too?
I do my own stunts.
Hey.
I'm a hard stunt nigga like Evil Knievel. I do everything. You know what I mean? Well, not everything. I don't want y'all to have me out here with a broke arm and shit, but you know what I mean?
Like,
Like,
be your own
yeah,
man. You ain't doing that.
yeah, 40 years old. I don't need to be out here doing too much.
Oh shit! He actually said his actual age.
Greasing my joint. I'm 38. I'll be 39 in a couple weeks. So you can round it up to 40 though.
You've been saying 25 for a long time. I'm not
I do be saying that.
Right.
I do be saying that, but you know what I'm saying. I am 30. You know what I'm saying? I'm 38, right? I tell people I'm 25. I tell people I'm 25.
No,
But if I turn around and y'all see the little missing hair in the back and the little,
I think the gray on your beard kind of also gives it away.
oh yeah, that flip. These motherfuckers now, they be so drugged up and high and drunk and everything else. They be having gray hairs and missing teeth and all types of shit. They be in their fucking 20s. When I was locked up, it was a lot of dudes missing teeth. And I was like, what pod do y'all have me in? Why are so many people missing teeth? Like, boom, boom, boom. Like, young niggas, 23, 24. I'm like, why are y'all missing teeth? What happened? What the fuck are you doing that you missing teeth at this age? I was like, God damn, but yeah, man, I can pull it off, man, except for that little Tory Lanez joint in the back of my head. If I get that taken care of, y'all trying to deport the man. Can I at least get some advice?
Mind, you think that?
Can I get that taken care of first? Can we at least, can I get some advice from
I mean, do
Tory
like
Lanez about this?
and shit, no?
I ain't about to put that. That's a whole joint, though. That's a whole thing they put on your head, and then they cut it, and I ain't got time for all that.
Shave it.
All I need is just the thing right here, just a little piece right there, and I'm good to go. Come on now, don't.
To the top.
Listen.
Oh,
Cosplay.
he don't have a joke. I was about to say, where's the joke? Oh shit, he got stuck for a little moment there. Damn.
Oh, cosplay. Listen.
You can't talk.
You know
dressed
what?
Like Black Panther
Listen.
from head to toe with
Listen.
the mask and everything.
Listen, Captain Planet over here. Every week she comes dressed up as somebody, and I just want to know who has she been dating that she's just getting dressed up? Because she's going straight from here to that nigga's house. Because she be dressed up last week, y'all go back. She was dressed up like Storm. Y'all remember that? She had hair and everything.
She was dressed up like Storm.
She was dressed up like Storm.
It wasn't the last episode, but
she was dressed up like Storm.
Like 3 episodes ago. But when
you was going to see a nigga dressed like Black Panther, wasn't you?
What it is I
You
am
was
wearing N25D apparel. The time you're speaking of before. And this one. So, shout out to T. I'll keep wearing
no, she had the meditation
Only
fit.
niggas in the comments understand what the fuck I just said.
She had the meditation fit on last one.
Yeah.
Did she?
With the chakras.
And that was N25D apparel.
She had the chakras on?
Yeah, it was like the meditation and the chakra little symbol.
Y'all just saying Storm because I had that wig.
You had the wig on and you had the costume. It was pretty much a
But you had
costume.
to dress it up.
It was a whole outfit.
Meditation. Well, she makes whole outfits.
Do she?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's make you little outfits for your little boyfriend.
Well, I remember
I thought I was gonna be the only one showing off thighs today, but here Ricky go.
Nah.
Ricky out here showing off thighs and ankles too. Okay. Stealing my thunder. It's all right. It is all right.
Oh my gosh. Anyway.
I'm coming in with the Andre 3000 wig next time. The lawn joint. Hey y'all. Hey y'all. I have to look for that costume too for a Halloween
the
party.
Suspenders and the tie.
Nigga.
And the
You gotta go to a real tailor to get that shit, nigga. That is not a costume you can just go out and get.
Bring a microphone with you too. Yeah.
Man, that shit was so expensive. I said, man, I bring 1,000 food because that shit. I think that was like an $800 joint, like for the pants, the shirt, the little.
Then he had variations because he played each instrument as another person.
He did.
I just want to be the lead singer. I just want to be the lead singer. Hey y'all, hey y'all. I'm gonna be Macho Man for this Halloween because since I'm already losing my hair, I might as well just go ahead and just. That means all I gotta do is get a little something to go around the side.
I think you're gonna still need that lace front.
You know what I was thinking?
No, what was you thinking?
As a kid, man, we were so into Hulk Hogan, we didn't realize, Macho Man and Hulk Hogan was almost the same fucking size. I seen a picture of them together, and Miss Elizabeth, and I was like, these niggas is the same size. Why was Hulk Hogan always talking about the 24-inch pythons? You didn't hear Macho Man talking about the 24-inch pythons, you probably had 22.
That's what made the storyline better when he thought that Hulk Hogan was trying to take Elizabeth.
Man, I was sitting up there looking like, these niggas is the same. Man, I'm gonna bring that picture up. Y'all need to see this.
If you Macho Man, I'll be Kamala for Halloween.
What?
If I'm God the Giant, I'll be Kamala.
You
Yeah,
gonna be
God the
Kamala.
Giant.
Listen, man.
With the face paint and everything.
I'm gonna be, I don't know, either one of y'all. That's who I'm gonna be. I'm
Gonna
gonna
be
be
that.
Be Macho Man.
paper bag on my
I'll
face.
be.
Alright, well, I
So
don't
y'all
have-
telling me, Macho Man and that's Macho Man, that's Hulk Hogan. Them niggas is the same
Yeah.
fucking size.
Okay.
Macho Man might be a little bit bigger. He got the little six
Yeah, I
pack
think
going
he
on.
is. His weight maybe because his legs are bigger, so he's just bigger.
Just a psychopath. No, but
Okay.
And you can tell he
Macho Man
inhaled.
was big.
Hogan inhaled.
So did he. Look.
Barely. He inhaled because he was wrestling.
Inhaling.
It like he was-
Send me that now, but
It
they're
like he
both
was wrestling.
They're both in
No, Macho Man is just more ripped than Hogan.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, he's inhaling because he was actually doing work inside the ring and he was breathing, probably inhaling. Hulk Hogan, he don't do no work in the goddamn ring. All he gonna do is body slam you, hit you with the Bigfoot, leg drop. Yeah. Hogan get his ass beat for 8 minutes.
Hogan, yeah.
Then all of a sudden start shaking and shit. You be like, God damn it. It's time for a body slam.
How they would look
to the
around after
face.
him. He was like, what?
Every episode. Every fucking episode.
What?
Y'all managed to squeeze wrestling in. Alright, so
You
I
gonna miss
have...
Elizabeth? If I dress up as Macho Man?
No. I have
What
no...
if I had the crown on? And you could be like, what was his name? The Macho King?
Alright, I have no transition for this because we gonna end up running out of time. We almost had an NBA boycott happen. It lasted not even a whole 24 hours. I don't know how long it lasted. Anyway, because of the shooting that took place with Kyle Rittenhouse shooting two protesters. What was this now? Two Tuesdays ago. You had the NBA almost take a stand and say we're not playing, and then 24 hours later they came back and said yes, we're playing, but here's our demands. And I will, did they call it demands? I think I heard the word demands, but they had a list of things to be done as far as opening some of the arenas for people to be able to vote. It's just things along those lines. Personally, I was kind of upset because I thought they was going to actually have the actual NBA boycott, because just, I think exactly on the day back in 2016, we had the situation with Colin Kaepernick. I'm pretty sure it was exactly to the day of 2016, and then we had the NBA almost do it and then take that away. Why I got upset, I thought something may have actually changed. Silly me, my fault. I should have known better that y'all were just going to keep playing. That was on me. But yeah, so that was really like my biggest disappointment, is the fact that I thought they were going to do it. If they did nothing, to me that would have been expected. To think they were actually about to do something is when I was just like, oh. And then they didn't.
I just want to say they did way more than what Colin Kaepernick did, but I only feel like this. Colin Kaepernick, to me, wasn't an impact player. And because he wasn't an impact player, nobody really kind of cared as much as they did compared to when impact players do it as far as the NBA. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't Jeremy Lin who was like, I'm a star, giving in for like no, nobody would care. But due to the fact that impact players care and impact players stay up, LeBron, you know what I'm saying, he did what he did because he is an impact player. He proved himself. But if I feel like Colin Kaepernick was the top quarterback and had his, it would have went in his favor.
I think if people didn't judge him the way they did back in 2016, there would have been a boycott. I mean, you got to look at how the other players, because one, he wasn't the only one that kneeled that day, in case we've forgotten. But you got to look at how the other players saw that. The fan reaction wasn't supportive at all. And what happened this time, there was actually support from the fans as far as the NBA goes. And as far as impact players, LeBron himself is enough of an impact player that it could have happened. And people will say, well, what could have come from that? At bare fucking minimum, y'all could have actually stood for something. Y'all could have said, this is taking place, we're not standing for this, and we're going to sit this out.
But it wasn't just NBA, though. The WNBA set out,
the one
MLS
player,
set out.
She set out.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, they got backup and support.
But again, no offense, it's just LeBron. He's the impact, he's the head. Colin Kaepernick didn't have that clout. He didn't have that clout. I don't think anybody in the NFL will have that clout. NFL is a whole different league compared to NBA.
None of the black guys.
I think how the NFL is ran is a little bit different. So even if it was like Deshaun Watson just got a big deal, I think $117 million. I forgot for how long. But if he had the biggest deal for the quarterback and made an impact thing, I still don't think it went that far because that's just how I feel the NFL goes compared to NBA. But again, you can't really compare because Colin Kaepernick wasn't as the highest achievement. Now, if we talk about Tom Brady did something on the impact, and still you can't compare that because Tom Brady is Caucasian and LeBron, and so it's the fact that LeBron is the top guy right now in the NBA, and he set the pace, and people look up to LeBron, they respect him on a athlete as a person, so it's a whole different stigma compared to Colin.
Well, what happened was he originally said they weren't playing. My thing is, and I had to be honest with people that kept pointing it out, I'm like, y'all don't know what happened with
was it him or Giannis? Did LeBron say it first, or
It was the team that was the two teams that was supposed to play that day. I can't fucking think who it was because I'm done with watching. But the two teams that was supposed to play that day was started it actually. That's who. No, wait, we gonna take this back. It was actually Kyrie that said it before the season even started because of everything that was already taking place. He was actually the first to say, I ain't really trying to do this right now.
Yeah, but people don't take Kyrie seriously.
Well, it's very unfortunate because here you have two players that tried to do the right thing, and because, like you said, they don't have that same name, nobody wanted to follow behind them. But there you did have a situation with somebody like LeBron, because I'll have no problem singling him out in it because he would have got the credit for it if it hadn't happened. So we could single him out and say, you could have did this and followed through with it. And if you want to say, well, the other players that make less, they would have had their checks cut or whatever the situation was, nobody had forced him to be on that court. He could have singled himself out in the whole situation and not done it. But, championships tend to matter to people more.
My thing is this. They always talking about we go boycott or we go not spend money on a certain day. And I understand we want to make that impact, but we really got to, as black people, we got to sit down and start saying, listen, why don't we just start going and becoming police officers so we can have more control over our own communities. Because trust me, if Walmart and all these companies say, man, we took $1 billion hit this past week, black people didn't spend no money. Trust me, racist Johnny that's scared of black people is still gonna shoot the fuck out of some black, and they gonna be like, well, he's getting off, because they gonna have some return. Like, we need to get out there and become like officers and judges, and we need to aspire to be that type of shit. We gotta stop being like, oh, I seen females say, I would never let my son become a police officer. He wants to be a cop. I was like, why would you not want your son? Like, so you're taking another black person
they don't get paid enough
out of it, and well, they
that
get
would
paid.
be my reason.
They get paid enough. You can't tell your kid don't be a police officer, because then what happens? They end up working at some other job making the same amount of money and without the pension. Without the pension.
I mean, that's the same reason I tell my son you ain't going to the military, because you're putting your life on.
You gotta be.
But that's just me referring to my kids. I get what you're saying.
We're taking. I mean, you talking about a life on the line, but you work your way up and then you become a detective and then you investigating this and so you know what I'm saying, like there's ways to do things, but you want to say, all right, well, just let all the white people go out there and put their life on the line. They're not. They're shooting us. They the ones with the guns. They shoot us and they get off and then they go back to work in a month.
But they have to be able to work their way up to that though. So
they have to start
we see it
somewhere.
now, there are black cops that exist. How many of them are standing up for what's going on?
Shit, it's
but
like
they don't want to do that, right?
20%.
Because you put your career at risk, right? So you have to build your way up and even have it enough for you to get higher in those levels. But shit, man, I don't know what you got to go through to get that far. What do you have to
if you become
to do that?
You can become a street level cop. You saying putting your life on the line? Okay, cool. But guess what? Somebody else will go put their life on the line and don't mind putting 5 bullets in your ass for a traffic stop. You saying put your life on the line? Shit, they the ones that's shooting. That's like saying, well, they don't have guns. No, police have guns. How often do we hear about police getting killed? Putting their life on the line? Shit, they're putting our life on the line. We civilians, you're letting everybody else get in there and say, pull all the black people off the police force and let everybody else become. So now you have all the races, everybody else picked on in high school, everybody with these mental issues, and they just out here doing what the fuck they want to do. I done got pulled over and punched in the face.
They don't even patrol their own neighborhoods. They patrol our neighborhood.
Yeah, I done got pulled over by punched in the face. I'm like, what the fuck? And they was like, well, we seen that it came back as the license was suspended. I was like, you have my license. You know that the car is in somebody else's name. Like, why the fuck? Why would you even punch me? Like, hey, get out the car. All right, cool. You have my license. You know, you see my face. This is my license. And you ran the plate. You see it's somebody else's car, but it's not reported stolen. So when you ask me to get out the car and then your officer punched me, I'm sitting up here thinking like, what the fuck? And then when you get down in to first district, they're like, oh well, what you can do is you just file a grievance or whatever the fuck it's called. I'm thinking to myself like, they ain't gonna do shit. They don't give a fuck. I'm pretty sure whoever punched me in my fucking face is going out to golf with the motherfucker that I'm telling to. We need to get in there and say, listen, we need to be the police officers. We need to become the judges. We need to aspire to be these things, because these motherfuckers that has no problem. Oh, I'm gonna become a judge, and guess what? They've never been in the hood, so they don't understand shit. So they thinking like, oh yeah, he's black, he's probably guilty. And then when his white friend come in here, he'd be like, oh well, you know what I'm saying? Like even everything, shit. I seen it was a college kid was accused of rape, and the judge said, we don't want to give him jail time because it's going to mess up his future.
Yeah.
Nigga, you raped somebody.
Yeah, that just happened.
You raped somebody. You don't want it to mess up his future?
Yeah.
Her future's fucked up. She's going to live for the rest of her life with that mental of her being raped by that dude. He's like, we don't want to mess his, he could become a judge one day. We don't want to mess his shit up. I guarantee you, if my black ass had been there for rape, I'd have still been in prison. I'd have been waiting another 2 years to see a judge and see a trial, and then I probably got another 20 years for the fucking rape. They'd probably ran my fucking shit and been trying to put some other shit on my ass. We got to get in there. We got to be judges. We got to start aspiring to be more than just, you know what I'm telling you? Yeah, rappers and things like, I'm going to be a boss. I'm going to be a boss. Stop listening to that nigga.
When the kid turn around, make a song, get 8 million views and get paid. He probably did want to be a cop. But he made one song, and it's not that, because I get you, because college football just started this weekend for the teams who do, who can't play back. So, and then I totally get you, but Then you got on the other side of it, on the real life, you got single moms, you know what I'm saying, rushing their kid to football practice because they hope that one day when they get that league, they get into Alabama, they get outside of Alabama, they play for something, that money go away. How do we take that focus of that quick money, that fast money, that large amount to want to be these police officers that get that don't make as much? Like,
because you know what? Because when you go to college and you play football, once you leave college, either you're gonna get drafted to the NFL or the NBA or whatever, or you're not. And at that point in time, you can say, well, I can still become a police officer. It's not like dudes is coming right out of high school become a police officer. Shit, go to college, play football, see where it takes you. If it takes you here and you become a billionaire, go for it. If it doesn't, and you have to get a regular job, say, you know what, I'm gonna patrol my own neighborhood. Because I know plenty of police officers right now. It's a white dude that is a police officer. He makes $80,000 a year. $80,000 a year as a police officer in East Cleveland. So we're saying, oh, it's not worth it for the money. I mean, shit. How many of us is putting our life on the line? Ford put their life on the line for fucking $70,000, $80,000 a year. They inhaling all that shit. Lincoln Electric inhaled. I worked at Lincoln Electric. I tell you, you inhaling some shit. It's one department where dude said he was making so much money, he didn't want to leave. He said, but he was inhaling so much shit and he was constantly sick all the time. I said, man, in 10 years, you will have cancer. Because y'all don't know what the fuck it is you inhaling that's making you sick like that. My cousin, he had his neck broke out from Lincoln Electric, inhaling that shit. But they make good money. So there's other jobs out there where we put our life on the line. You may not get shot, but shit, you may get cancer from doing the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have jobs that stress us out. That shit ain't gonna kill you? Shit. Man, let's get our people out here and let's do other stuff. Because we have too many motherfuckers running around and they're not doing shit. Niggas is not doing shit. That's the problem. We're not doing nothing with our time. We could have been police officers. What are we doing instead? Sitting around, playing a video game, applying for some bullshit.
At like our age group where we inspired to be police officers. When you had songs like NWA saying fuck the police, that didn't make me want to go run out and be a police officer.
That made me want to be like Dre and them. Go make music about
like,
more injustice.
That's what, it's like you have to have things in place in front of children that they see successful for them to want to do it. It's like, it's hard to explain, but I get what you're saying.
No, you make a dope
you're
point.
definitely right.
You just got to get the media to go back and portray more positive. I think that's the ultimate thing, because when you see a black person and you portray them, when they have a lot of money in the big houses and stuff, they either a musician, an athlete, or maybe some type of ex-kingpin that now put their money in real estate or something like that. I'm just saying, we need more, like the TV, like the show I watch, Watchmen, where the backstory was the guy actually wanted to be a police officer in a racist town to make a change and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But we don't have not anymore things where people are everyday black heroes anymore. Not the heroes that are portrayed.
Like doctors and like grocery stores. And
Eric
like
LaSalle. Listen, I want to be like Eric LaSalle. Not only he was Soul Glow, the nigga was a doctor on ER every Thursday. Like, that was the only, you know what I'm saying? But there's not like that. There's nothing like that anymore to portray it, to show our younger youth.
And that's a lack of ownership across the board, actually.
It is, because you know what? I'm gonna be honest. There are plenty of people out there, like, I remember when I worked at the city, I worked for the water department. I had just a regular red ass Dodge Magnum. It was 2005 when the shit just came out. And you know what I'm saying, all the kids ran up, they didn't know who the fuck I was, but all the little kids ran up that played football and they was, hey, what, they high-fiving and shit. Because, you know what I'm saying, I had a nice car, I had nice clothes, I dressed the way that they like to see me dressed. They need more people going out there just looking like somebody where they can be like, oh, I want to look like him. I can see him. I see him all the time in that nice ass car. I can see him all the time. He got the jewelry on. He got this on. He got that on. We only see that when we talking about somebody that's rapping or selling dope. And we don't realize, guess what? For every time we see somebody with that shit that's rapping, there's over 10,000 motherfuckers that didn't get that shit. Mm-hmm. Every time we see somebody that's out there selling dope and you be like, man, that nigga got a knot like this.
You don't see the people that don't make it like that though.
We see them all the time.
Your face is the ones that do, but you're not even looking at the people that don't make it. Like, they not even existing.
We see people that sell drugs that's very minimal all the time. And kids see it all. We see motherfuckers that's out here nickel and diming cocaine and crack all the time that ain't get shit. And they ain't got, you know what I'm saying? Like, they ain't got half the shit some of these people got. But again, once you get to a certain thing, you got to go back, man. You got to make yourself present. You have to make sure kids see you. You got to make sure that the people in the neighborhood see you. If you got a nice car, man, go ahead, go to a football game sometime. If you got a Maserati, go to a football game, some little kids' football game. Go to their practice. Just show up. Them kids would love to see a fucking Maserati up close and personal. And your ass got one, and you got a regular 9-to-5 job. And them kids gonna be like, well, what do you do that you can afford this? They gonna be like, shit, I want to do that. You a cop? I want to do that. Firefighter? I want to do that. How much do they make?
What was that? A Wolf of Wall Street. That's what he saw the dude with his car and was like, yo, what do you do? Tell me how to do that. That's exactly how that all started. So
That's
yeah,
all you need.
It's like I definitely agree with you.
You don't need to have everything on TV, but people gotta, once you become successful, you get these nice things. The only people that people try to impress when they get this nice shit is people if they go to bars and shit. That's you just trying to impress some hoes or some shit like that. You got a nice Benz, you don't go nowhere but to the bar and try to impress some hoes, trying to pull some hoes with your Benz, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Go out there, let these kids see you. Let these kids know that they can do something else besides rap and sell dope or some of this other shit. Fuck it. You know what? If it's sports, cool. Go out there at them football practices and then be like and encourage them kids on, because a lot of them kids, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like everything is a TV show. It's not perfect. So those kids go home and they getting yelled at and screamed at and abused and all type of crazy shit. We don't understand how some of these kids live for real, because like I said, I work with kids, and these kids came from the work. Like, you think that your life growing up may have been a little hard? No, sir. No, sir. I'm talking about, I had a little girl one time, and I'm not gonna get into her personal business all like that, but she was in a household where, you know what I'm saying, like somebody said something to her inappropriate, mom kicked that person out and brought that person right back. And I'm like, and she still had to live, that's her, she's 15. She has to live there. And what do you do? Like, who do you talk to? Where do you go when it's shit like that? So yeah, you need to get out there and show people like everything's not fucked up. The world ain't fucked up, because those kids, they grow up to believe everything's fucked up. People will tell you real quick, every place in Cleveland is the ghetto. I'll be like, no, it's not. I can take you to some places real nice in Cleveland. You think it's fucked up because your neighborhood is fucked up. Everything around you is fucked up. All you see is...
Gotta get out and see the world.
Yeah, not even the world, just see other parts. People will tell you people tell me all the time, like, man, I wouldn't go to the West Side, man. This, that, and the third. I'll be like, have you been to the West Side? West 25th? That's it? You made your entire decision.
Pretty much downtown it was.
Yeah, like you made your entire decision based on you've crossed the bridge. If you ain't from Cleveland, you don't understand. But if you cross a bridge, you're on West 25th. Mm-hmm. They haven't gotten to nicer homes, quiet, this, that. They think it's the same as they shit. They think it's shootouts and drugs and junkies running up. It ain't like that. You get further off to the west side, hell, further to the east side. It ain't like that. But people don't know that. They know their world, and that's where they stick to.
Yeah, they
for
get
life.
Stuck in it. Shit.
Yeah.
A lot of times, even traveling, like you said, other side of the city, so many people that have never even
But we
left
got to
the
do
city
better
or
too,
state.
because even some of the parents can't really hold themselves, and that's why some of the kids out here can't get them. Because even I remember, because Halloween coming up, but I remember when I was younger, I never trick or treated in my neighborhood. Like, never trick or treated. Like, I had parents and aunts who knew how to act. We trick or treated other neighborhood and just blended in.
Well, yeah, we did. I did too.
But I was able to see like bigger houses. I was able to see different things, to get inspired to want to do other stuff as well too. But if I didn't have somebody who knew how to act without always, still being loud or make a ruckus, or you know what I'm saying, or just didn't know how to just shove off little maybe comments other people say, I would never see those things. And people need to be exposed to those things, because like you said, if you go out to maybe a suburb or something like that, it may not be a ball player or something. Maybe a lawyer live there, and that lawyer may be influenced that person. Like, hey, I don't have to necessarily be a ball player or something like that. I can be a lawyer and get maybe a good $300,000 house in this nice suburb, get a nice car. You know what I'm saying?
You be a dentist.
Exactly.
Ain't that what Chris Rock said? He was like, in my neighborhood, he was like, you won't believe. He's like, it's me. He's like, Mary J. Blige. I think he said Jay-Z got a house. He was like, and then there's a white couple. He was like, he's a dentist. A motherfucking dentist. And he had like $1 million or $2 million house on the same neighborhood as Chris Rock and Mary J. Blige. A fucking dentist. But we don't look at it like that. We're like, I ain't about to fucking no teeth. I wanted to be a dentist because I thought it was just like a doctor, except, you know what I'm saying, shorter time in school. You know what I'm saying? I'll still be a dentist, but I got a criminal record, so they ain't gonna let me work on no tricuspids. You know what I mean? Yeah, I studied, see, you didn't even know that. I studied teeth for a little bit.
That was a good
little bicuspid.
Had a little word
Yeah, a little bicuspid and shit. Yeah, they ain't gonna let me work on that shit though. Get that little felony and shit. That be acting funny and shit. It's all right. It's cool. I'm doing all right. I ain't traumatized or nothing. Thanks, America. But yeah, look. Even in bad circumstances, I know people that's been got railroaded and, you know what I'm saying, they was in bad situations where they wasn't guilty and then they just gave up on everything, so they just went back to crime because that's what they know. And instead of being that way, you could have found somebody like, you know what I'm saying, like, it's not my personal friend, but it's somebody that I could have went and talked to and been like, hey, listen, you don't have to be in a life of crime. I can help you do, you know what I'm saying, other stuff other than what you're doing because I know you got fucked up. I know you got fucked over, but it's other shit you can do. And you don't realize that until, you know what I'm saying, like, it's too late. I know a lot of people that's been fucked up and been in bad situations and they just moved on because that's all they saw. When I grew up, we was stupid. It was middle class where I grew up, but everybody sold drugs. It was two family households in that all up and down, two family households. We didn't have to sell drugs, but we did. You know why? Because shit came out talking about selling drugs. Master P had fucking nothing about it out. His whole goddamn movie was about selling dope. Nigga, we thought it was the best shit ever, and the girls thought it was the best shit ever. So that's what niggas do.
I didn't get influenced by watching things like that.
That's you, Ricky.
Well, you know what? It has to be said too because hip hop gets blamed for stuff like that. So when you say that, I mean, listen, that was him. I
was influenced.
I was not.
Didn't y'all just say that him influenced y'all? That when I heard "fuck the police," I wasn't influenced.
I was not influenced to go be a cop. I wasn't about to be influenced to go.
I wasn't influenced to sell drugs
fucking
either.
Police. So. There's your difference. Like
you were a girl. You dated the drug dealers.
Okay,
You didn't sell
there
drugs.
was a lot of other people that heard fuck the police. Nobody wanted to go actually shoot the police is what I was saying. It just didn't make me want to be a cop. I saw that and I'm like, yo, cops is kind of fucked up. I don't want to do that shit.
I didn't listen to a lot of hip hop growing up though, to be honest.
I didn't give a damn about fuck the police. Like I was like,
well,
all right, that's cool.
That wasn't the only one, but
So,
that was the
like,
title alone was enough.
I wasn't influenced to sell drugs either. So
I mean, there was plenty of good cop shows out there that could have made you want to become a cop. You had Inspector Gadget. You had
not real.
It don't matter. Wrestling wasn't real, nigga. At a point in your life, did you not want to be a wrestler? I wanted to be a wrestler. You never want to be a wrestler?
I wanted to be.
You want to be a wrestler? I want to be a wrestler.
But that wasn't a negative.
I could be a manager though, but you got a point though. I'm talking about manager. I could be a good manager.
You want to be slick?
Huh?
You want to be slick?
Something like that.
Mr. Fuji?
No, I see him more like the, what was the Undertaker?
I was like Paul Heyman. Like, because I'm short. Like, I couldn't be a wrestler. I'm too short. And I wasn't athletic. Like, the shorter, like, I wasn't fit.
Daniel Bryant, he was like, what, 5'8"?
But there was no fat, short people, though.
Well, you would have had
all the fat dudes, like,
you could have been your
tall.
own. You could have been separated from everybody else.
It don't
standing
matter.
the fuck out.
I could have been a good manager. I could have been like Paul Heyman.
Don't you think people told the 1, 2, 3 kid, like, at 130 pounds, you're not going to become a fucking wrestler? When he came out, that nigga was skinny as shit. You could have been a big dude out there getting your wrestling on. Nigga, you could have been heavyweight champion of the world.
I could have been a manager though. I was into like the creative.
Wrestling had a spot for everybody. Midgets, skinnies, fats,
he didn't want it.
everybody.
I was a creative guy. I've always been a creative guy.
So you didn't want to get out there and just wrestle,
No,
huh?
I wanted to like construct the matches, put matches together. Yeah, that was just me.
Well, something he got
The psychology. I like wrestling because of psychology. I like the fact that you can go in, like, people used to come into Cleveland and be like, oh, yeah, Cleveland sucks because you don't have a football team. Remember we have a football team?
Yeah.
And everybody like, boo, like, the psychology of wrestling. That's why I like it.
And the fucked up thing is this, even in wrestling, there's no black wrestlers that I actually wanted to be like. Every wrestler I wanted to be like, they was all white.
It was white. Exactly.
I wanted to be Shawn Michaels. I wanted to be Bret
Maybe
Hart.
that's why I didn't want to be a wrestler either, because I would feel bad against my people.
I didn't want to be. I didn't want to be Coco Beware.
I never want to be Farouk or
Junkyard
Ahmed
Dog.
Johnson.
I didn't want to be none of them niggas. Hell no.
I didn't even consider Rock to be a black wrestler because he won all the time.
I looked at Doom. I was like, I don't want to be Doom.
I didn't want to be Dino
I want to be the
Brown.
Steiner Brothers. I want to be Scott. I didn't want to be Rick. I wanted to be Scott.
Yep.
And that was before like he really started taking steroids and his body just got like funny looking, like he started being looked at like, I don't know, like, dude.
No, there is really no black, even today there's no black wrestlers. Like, we need to do episode top 5 black wrestlers. Like,
I mean, y'all
if Virgil make your list,
just did it
I quit.
No, Virgil.
If Virgil make your list, I'll quit the show.
What would Virgil make my list?
Top 5 black wrestlers?
He might. It ain't that many black wrestlers.
Yeah, definitely. We can pop that in.
I think that's gonna be. I don't know. That's gonna be disrespectful. Like, what black wrestlers are there?
I don't know.
Ahmed Johnson.
Y'all said
Ron
it. I think y'all kind of
D'Lo
named
Brown.
everybody already, but
Actually,
I'm willing to do it.
The guy who
D'Lo.
played the guy who played Godfather played 3 characters. He played Papa Shango, Kamala, and Godfather.
You know what? And even in the Nation of Domination, the only person we really gave a fuck about was The Rock. Ain't that
Exactly.
fucked up?
And he
he's
had
Samoan.
D'Lo Brown for
I'm
He's
like,
Samoan for
what
real.
was the other 2 that was, or 3 that was with it? Because it was one of them I like, but I can't think of his name. But I'm going to have to stop y'all anyway because we out of time. I don't know. I'll post
Oh, Harlem Heat? But I ain't want to be them either.
No, that wasn't it.
Look at you,
If
baby.
you're
No.
if you are watching on Monday,
He was the first
at-
person to say nigga on TV.
again, if you are watching on Monday, it's
Hogan, I'm coming to get you, nigga.
Would you
on
consider
Facebook
Robin
at
a
Fall
top 5
Through the
wrestler?
Stoop 216.
You consider Robin
Tuesday, 11 p.m. on Roku, Grind City Channel. Thank you for everyone tuning in to Fall Through the Stoop. God, why I gotta be loud, black lady? Be okay, Pepper Potts.
Good, you got your little outfit on. I like this outfit.
Mabel, you can't forget about Mabel.
Oh my God,
He was
DJ
the first,
PharOut
he was the
and
first
Maseratii,
rapping dude to come to the ring. Mabel, big Mabel.
I had to put my mask in my midsection real quick. Ricky over here got the little outfit, little skin tight outfit on and shit. Long hair and shit.
All right, y'all.